Hey guys, Mayflom here, back for part 2 of my mini book on the go, although it's not so many since it's like 8 by 10. And it's going pretty good. I've got some good stuff going on here. I'll share you a little more about this for my upcoming road trip, but first, I just wanted to share, well, really what I want to do in this video is just kind of share a couple of tips for you if you're heading out on the road and you want to take a scrapbook on the go. If you're short on time, I don't know, maybe you forgot about the trip, maybe you don't have any idea what you want from your scrapbook on the go and you've never done one, you want to keep it really fast and simple, I would suggest grabbing an American Crafts Daybook. They have so many and they're so fantastic because they have all kinds of decoration to them already and pockets and just all kinds of detail. And if there was a page you really hated, you could tear it out. Otherwise, just bring a pen and some adhesive, maybe some washi tape to help you stick down memorabilia and stuff. Take this with you, okay? And you'd be ready to go right there. Boom. Another one that I'm really loving, one that I almost used on this trip, but I decided it had so much paper in here and was such a small format. You can see it's about the size of my hand. I decided that this wasn't large enough. It was also not flexible enough because that is the one thing. These are bound, so the order that they're in is the order that they're in. And I really think this one would be a lot of fun. Honestly, I think I'm saving this one. I think when I go to Disney World, I think I would take this one, and it has so many blank pages in it that I think I would use it as an autograph book for character meetings, as well as notes and just details of the journey and all kinds of stuff like that. I also think this would be awesome if you had a longer vacation, because there's just, I mean, there must be, I don't know, 100 pages? There's a lot of pages in here. Okay? So either way, though, you could just grab this, grab your pen, grab your adhesive, and go and be on with it. This trip that I'll be taking in a couple weeks is not a usual kind of trip. You see, we'll be heading out into the mountains, putting my grandparents' ashes at rest, and obviously a trip like that, it stirs up a lot of emotions, it stirs up a lot of thought, and I want to make this book be about stories. I want this book to have a lot of room for me to recollect stories of my grandparents, memories, as well as documenting the experience of taking my daughters out into the remote wilderness and where we went along the way, what we saw, what we did. Have plenty of room to stick little bits and pieces in here into the album as we go. I want a lot of flexibility from this book, and I want a lot of room for stories. I mean, a lot of room for stories. So this book is going to be absolutely perfect for my purposes. Now, how am I putting this together? What am I doing in advance? You can see I've got some letter stickers scattered throughout here. Basically, I took towns that we will be stopping in and stuck their name, a couple of the towns stuck their name on somewhere in the book. But how do I go about doing this? How do I get this ready to go? So I did take notes, and I have them all there's all kinds of little notes back here. Itineraries and ideas, places to stop, addresses, confirmation numbers. So that'll all stay in the back of the binder. How I went about making this was I gathered stuff. This is a Crepe Paper Maggie Holmes little mini. Originally I was going to use it for this, but it's open, it's not big enough. So I did borrow a few pieces from it though. And I went around my stash and I just found some great Pebbles chipboard. I went through my drawer of tags and found postcards and die cuts and little bits and pieces of things. And I just, stickers, all kinds of stuff. Collected it all up and just have it all over around my desk. And then I'll pick up a piece. Okay, I like this, hello. And I'll go through the book and find, okay, where does this fit? Where does this fit? Oh, okay, you know, this fits right here. So I'm going to tuck it in right there. And that's where hello is going to be. You know, next thing, where can I put the cloud? And I would just go through the book and stick stuff down. And I love this style because when you're doing it, it'll help you go faster because you're not sitting and staring at this one page that's stumping you and going, okay, how am I going to deal? Okay, this one I haven't dealt with yet. How am I going to deal with this bright pink page? How am I going to deal with it? Instead of just sitting here and thinking and thinking and thinking, when some idea comes to me about what I'm going to do for this page, I'll do it. And until then, I'm flipping back and forth through the book, adding stuff, making the book more interesting, getting it ready to go. So I'm having a lot of fun with that style. One of the things that I did, I'll go through it and share some tips with you. This is a 4x6 acrylic block, and I've placed it in a few spots and marked out where I want some pictures. I'm not going to do this. I can always add more page protectors, add more pictures in. I'm not worried about that. But there were a few spots where, for design purposes, I wanted to have a picture spot saved, or just for my own note, I wanted to see how big it was or how big it would be. So I did that a couple times. I will be adding some stamping. I know I have this leaf stamp that I want to put a couple different places that I think is going to be fun. I'd find things and I'd stick them down. Let's go. Day one, there was a car on this page, so I thought day one, and I'll detail the notes of being in the car on that day. Really, you might think, okay, well, how do you know you're going to want a journaling page that says live life with a pine cone and, a little bit of tree? How do you know you would with the wood grain? How do you know you're going to want that, May? The answer is I don't. I absolutely don't know that I want it, but I'm going to make it work. And here's the biggest thing with these kinds of books. I have a little do not disturb that I've tucked in here. The thing with these kind of books, when you're out on the road, if this is all I have, and if this card is the only card I've got that is the right size for the story or for the note, I'll make it work. When you remove the choices, you make it work. And guess what? Those are some of the best books that you will ever make, because instead of fussing about things that don't really matter, you'll just run with it. And I did put a couple, like we're going to stop in Mammoth, so I went ahead and put that. I know we're going to stop at a hotel in Mammoth, so I put that down. And I've got room here that could be a photo, could be journaling. My big tip on this, if you're going to get specific, and it would be pretty easy to be specific, especially if you know you're going to spend time someplace. On the flip side, don't be so specific on the flip side. On the flip side, I made room for a picture and it says rise and shine because I figured hotel next morning. I'll come up with something to stick here for the next morning. That's not a problem. I would just not put anything too specific back to back. And remember, this is very flexible. It's a binder. I can move this camera thing somewhere else if I want. I can also, you can see this basic gray book came with some page protectors, and I kept it very simple. This one, it's got journaling on one side and just space on the other. Some of them I kept a lot more simple, and some of them might require a little of my attention after we get home. Mostly though, this book, by the time I actually walk out the door, all this book's really gonna need is for me to just stick a couple of pictures. Like this one I envision, I've got journaling space, I'll probably stick a picture up here. And what I love about that is that when I get back home, all the memories, all the details, all the stories will have been poured into this book. It'll be done. And the story will be instantly told. And there's something so satisfying about that. And I don't always do it because sometimes, for example, if we go to Disney World, I don't have time to sit down every couple hours and make another page, make another entry. A trip like this, I will have time, and I'll definitely make time for it. This is a Kelly Perky card. I love this card here. This is on the road. I like putting some generic stickers, sentiments, and stuff that I know I'll be able to use. And I'm having so much fun. You see a sticker here, a little sticker there. This one's kind of flexible the way it is. And I really liked using this basic gray book because it's got some stuff already decided for me. These are 3x6, and what I've decided on these, if I take a 4x6 photo, and I'm just going to grab, let's see, I'm going to find a 4x6 photo within reach here. Okay, so I got a dessert picture. I just need to crop off a 1/2 inch off the top and bottom, or a full inch off one of the sides to make this fit in here. So I decided for a lot of these I will do that. I'll take some pictures and purposely leave space at the top and bottom, you know, when I'm framing up my pictures that I know I could conceivably crop off to make some pictures work in here. Because I like the idea of having my pictures in page protectors so that they're protected from little hands and people flipping through the book. But I really went hog wild. This is a greeting card that I've had for a while and wanted to put somewhere. And I think it fits really good here, and it makes for an interactive element on one of my pages. These pages are nice and thick, really hardy pages, so I'm really having fun with those. And you know, some of them I will bring a couple things. I'm going to bring maybe 1 or 2 or 3, no more than 3, but I'll bring a couple rolls of tape, I'll bring adhesive, I'll bring pens, and I will bring a couple little pieces of plain cardstock or lined cardstock so that, like, a page like this, if I wanted to add something in here so I could journal more instead of all the busy pattern, I could. But as it stands here, I could put ephemera on here. I could put, you know, a menu, something from a hotel. I could put lots of stuff on here, and I might not need to put something else on this space. Last thing I'll mention for this particular one is I've got this cardstock from Simon Says Stamp, and let's see if I can get an angle where you can see the wood grain on this. This cardstock is awesome because it's wood grain, and we're going out into the wilderness. So guess what? Wood grain cardstock is very, very welcome here. And I think I'm going to cut that down and put another piece of it in here. I've got another full-size page protector here. You can see, added a little chipboard here. Loving the chipboard, loving the lakeshore line for this particular trip. And here I liked, it goes something like this, but there was like a monster weird thing here, so I just covered it up. As I said before, I might be covering that up, but I don't know yet. And I just keep going along. Here you can see a page where I did cover it up with that wood grain cardstock. And here's a page protector where I took L Studio cards and just tucked them in. So I've got room for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different little stories. If I don't wind up with a story to tell, I can these aren't glued. I'm not committed to these, which I'm kind of liking about these page protectors. Pop it out, put some, I don't know, put a business card from somewhere I went, put some little piece of wrapper or something in there, or put a picture in there. There's lots of things I can do with those spaces. And of course I've got a couple of pockets here and there that I had space for, and I've got a pocket attached here in the back. Basically now that's all that's left. I've got a couple spots in here that I want to fill in, and then I just need to title it or do something for my cover, and I'm ready to hit the road. I hope you've enjoyed this video. You will see the 3rd installment where I'll share some of the pages and my notes about how it went in about 2 weeks. Happy crafting!